What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Window Cleaning Millionaire podcast. I'm grateful that you guys are here. And what I want to talk about today is actually one of my favorite things to talk about, like in my coaching group or just to service business owners in general. And what I want to talk about today is having marketing stamina. So you might say, like, what does that mean, marketing stamina? It means being able to continue to market even when you don't feel like it's working, or basically not just trying marketing for 3 or 4 weeks and then cutting it because you feel like it's not working. So what most service business owners do is they never figure out like a consistent marketing lever, one that they can pull. They know they can put $1 in it and it brings $4 out. They never figure one out because they'll try Facebook ads for 2 or 3 weeks and then they don't work. And maybe during that time they spent like $500, which is not enough to even know if it's going to work or not. And then they'll hear that they should go do door hangers. So they go and do door hangers. And then 3 weeks later, they're like, oh, I only got 1 call from it, so that doesn't work. Or maybe they hear that they should do yard signs, and rather than putting out 1,000 yard signs, they'll go and put in like 20 yard signs and get no calls and say that those don't work. The reality is most marketing does work. 99% of the time, marketing is going to work. But it's only going to work if you have marketing stamina and you can see it through even when it feels like it's not working. So for me personally, I ran a report the other day of sales by marketing method. And I think over the last like 3 years, we had sold like $2 million worth from Facebook ads alone. Now, if I had looked at my month to month, each of those months with Facebook, there might've been times when I spent $2,000 or $3,000 and I only booked $2,000 or $3,000 or maybe a little bit more. But I focus heavily on the lifetime value of the customer and I don't focus on the first transaction. So I look at how much we book each month from Facebook and how much we spend, but I don't really even care about that number because I know a lot of these customers that we bring in, we might break even on the front end, but over time we're going to sell them larger packages. Over time we're going to sell them other services that we do. We're going to sell them service agreements so that they're on our schedule over and over. We're going to text them every month if they haven't been serviced in 3 months, and we're going to get them back on the schedule. So I know over time, my return from Facebook is going to be drastic, but it may not be a great first return. Like this month, I spent this much and I booked this much from it. Let's see. One good example of this that I actually experienced recently is one of the things that I recommend to a lot of my customers or my clients in my coaching group is starting with door hangers. So I think if you're under $20,000 per month, flyers or door hangers with the right strategy, and I've done a podcast on this as well, but with the right strategy, it's the number one thing that you can do to get to $20,000 months quickly. Basically, I started having a lot of my coaching clients have a bunch of success with door hangers. So I decided I wanted to try and do them again, hire some people to help me with it. I haven't done door hangers in probably 4 or 5 years now. It's what I started with, but over time we kind of got away from it. And then I never really figured out like doing it at scale and hiring. But since my coaching clients were doing so well with it, I was like, man, we really need another marketing lever to take Reach window cleaning to the next level. So I ended up going back to doing door hangers. And what happened is we hired a few people to help us with them. We started putting them out, like week 1 got nothing, week 2 got nothing, week 3 got nothing. It was like 3 weeks and we got no calls. And then after the 3-week mark, we started getting like 1 or 2 calls per day directly from our door hangers. So that goes to show, and I've heard this before, but it's totally true, that usually what you're doing now, you're gonna see the fruits of it in 3 or 4 weeks. That goes with any marketing. So what I want to kind of talk about today and what I want you to understand is that the lag between like the effort you put in now and the result there is real. There's a real lag there. And I just want to encourage you to have marketing stamina, see it through, and continue to market even when it feels like it's not working. I feel like a big problem or a big reason why this is a problem is because we're so used to this like instant gratification world where we can pull up our phone, we can order something on Amazon and it's here the next day. We're so used to getting that instant gratification that as business owners, sometimes we're not willing to be patient and wait a few weeks or even a few months for something to start working. Pause this. Give myself a second to think. So if back in the day I would have started with my flyers, and again, just to kind of reiterate the story, I started with a box of flyers and like literally no money and literally like nothing to my name. If back in the day I would have started and gone a week and got no calls, which I think we did get 1 or 2 calls our first week, so thankfully this didn't happen. But if I had gone a couple weeks without calls, I would and said, oh, that's not going to work, then I don't think I would have grown the business that I have today. Maybe I would have given up. I'm not sure what would have happened. But because I trusted the process, because I knew somebody who had had success with the same exact strategy, I saw it through even when it felt slow. And from there, I was able to grow to $20,000 months. And then we were able to add in Facebook ads and Google ads and a good referral program and all these other marketing tactics that eventually brought us to $100,000 to $300,000 months. I guess what I would kind of compare this to is like going to the gym, right? Like you don't go to the gym for 2 or 3 weeks and really expect to see any results. You might see little results and little like changes in your body and things like that, but you're not going to see like deep lasting results in 2 or 3 weeks. So why would you do that with marketing inside of your business? So just to repeat again, all of the successful business owners that I know, and if you too want to be a successful business owner, you need to have a ton of marketing stamina. You need to be able to see it through even when it doesn't feel like it's working. And then another thing that I'll add on this is you need to be marketing the hardest when you're busy. A lot of people get this wrong. They'll get like into their busy season and they'll get super busy and they'll turn off their ads because they don't feel like they can keep up. And then 2, 3, 4 weeks later, they have no work, and it's because they stopped the momentum. You guys have probably heard this, but it's hard to stop a train if it's moving really fast, but if it's barely moving, it's super easy to stop, and you can just stop it with a small rock. So you need to use that momentum. You need to turn down your ad spend and turn down what you do marketing wise in your typical slow season. And you need to push marketing as hard as possible during your busy season, even if you are busy and even if you are booked out a few weeks. So in conclusion, if you are tired of your up and down seasons and you're tired of like non-predictable income, you need to make marketing your #1 priority, and you need to treat it like the most important job in your business, because it absolutely is the most important job in your business. Marketing isn't going to be something that you do when you need work. It's something that you do constantly so that you do not run out of work. So if you need help with a marketing plan, or you just need some help growing your business, go ahead and DM me the word podcast on Instagram. I'd love to help. My DMs are always open. Thanks for listening to the Window Cleaning Millionaire, and I'll see you on the next episode. All right.